You're going to need Flowers to kick them into gear here. I'm feeling like Thanatos Gnar or something like that, one like real signature champion, and see what they can do. Maybe focus top lane. That has been a route for them, because if you look at the stats, Cloud9 are significant damage portion comes from top lane, much more significant than most of our other teams. And APA, of course, the mid lane takes a more facilitating role. And all right, let's get into it though, because mid lane is currently still the focus, with a lot of the similar perma bans going, that respect with the Akali and the perma of the Cassia Orianna.
Yeah, this is exactly, I believe, the same 6 champions that were banned in game number 2 in that first rotation. The Orion Cass, like you're talking about, the Varus kept away for the power pick in the bottom lane, Lucian Karma banned out by C9, and they continue to respect the Quid Akali that could be locked in early. But C9's first pick here, they dropped the Lulu for Vulcan, which means it's got to be some kind of a hyper carry for Zven.
And Zven this season has really been a fan of the Yunara, much more in the beginning when Yunara was truly OP, but they could still go with the Lulu Yunara, or, like you're saying, a different hyper carry of Jinx, and I fit one of those in. Meanwhile, the engage of the Neeko, which, if it was Cloud9 Neeko, then you think there's more of a possibility of like mid lane, APA takes it or something, but it is a TL Neeko, and so you're pretty sure that is CoreJJ. Neeko on the bottom side, and now you're 100% sure.
Yep, that Neeko will be going to the support role as the Viktor is locked in early for Quid here. Pretty standard pick, just long-range control mage, clears waves very well. There's nothing crazy that you've got to be prepared for with this guy, unless you give him a couple resets in a team fight and the storm takes up the whole screen. But
yeah, that's all right. So we talked about Zven being a pretty big fan of the Yunara, and still holding on to that one. They are going to lock it, so Yunara, of course, you do have your own jump when you activate your ultimate, and if you can work around the Neeko engages, can still be very effective, especially in clumped up team fights. Meanwhile, into the Viktor. A couple of options here for APA. Early hovering onto the Syndra, but eventually going with this Twisted Fate. That C9 are one of our teams that have effectively used the mid lane Twisted Fate and play around the gold card timers, play around that range of the single target stun. And if you have a Twisted Fate to play down to your hyper carry of your Yunara Lulu as well, put that enemy lane in check, which is going to be some sort of Neeko looking like the Ezreal. That does make a lot of sense with the combination for the poke damage, and Ezreal, pretty common response to the Yunara as well.
Okay, so we'll have some range down there, some poke like you're talking about. The TF, I agree. I'm fully expecting him to try to play around this Yunara, get Sven fed, have the hyper carry, do what the hyper carry is supposed to get done. The thing is, though, playing Twisted Fate into a champion that has the extreme pushing capability that Viktor has means that if APA does look for these plays, if he does look for these roams, and he can't make things happen, it will be very easy for Quid to get himself ahead, forcing plays and shoving waves.
And that's why I think that Cloud9 need Blaber on some sort of jungler that can fight well, because you want a Twisted Fate to be able to also make plays with like an invading jungler, or just some sort of jungler that's going to put pressure, like a Xin, like Xin is up, Jarvan is up. Definitely
Jarvan's banned.
Or Jarvan actually, or excuse me, not Jarvan, Pantheon was what I was thinking of. The Xin or the Pantheon.
Hey, I agree. You look great today. Good job,
Yo,
buddy.
you look great too. The fans in Arizona. Props for that. Crab for Nexus. Uh-oh. That is a classic.
That's a rough trade.
That's what maybe Cloud9 really need to just index more into the Scuttle Crabs.
The Blabbers Crabbers.
More into their power.
Well, they won't be able to index into that Thanatos Gnar that you were talking about as something that could be a win condition.
In Bald we trust. That's the narrow buff. Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Well done production.
Yeah, excellent camera pan right after that one. It's going to be all top lane bans from both sides here in the second half of the draft, though, as the Gnar and Jace are banned out by TL, the Renekton and the Jax banned away by C9. Remember, C9 wanted first pick here in this third game, just like they did in game number 2. So that means TL will get their counter pick here at the very end.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's going to be a jungle. There's no way they're early picking the top laner when they have counter pick. They can guarantee some loading. So, let's see. Honestly, they just need something kind of stable from Jose. Okay. They're going to go with the early Naafiri here. And Naafiri is very good when enemy is showing Twisted Fate. So obviously you can immune gold card very easily with Naafiri, and you have a lot of mobility. But the instant double lock C9, they get denied the Gnar with the ban, but they still want the same idea we're talking about, where Thanatos can carry. And Thanatos, I'm assuming, is getting the Ambessa. Technically, we have had the opposite, where Sejuani goes top and jungle gets Ambessa.
Yeah, I don't want to see that this game.
I would literally give that 0% chance this game. You're giving the carry opportunity to Thanatos, the guy that has been able to carry from the top lane like no other. And you give him some Sejuani synergy to work with, some CC to work with, in addition to a Twisted Fate. So honestly, I do really like this draft from Cloud9. You have 2 lanes, side lanes that can carry, either Yunara with Lulu buff or Thanatos on his Ambessa. Both APA and Blaber can play to those side lanes. Is going to maybe be problematic with the Shen lock-in, because I do like that answer. As far as being able to Shen ult onto a Neeko, it kind of solves one of Neeko's later game problems, where you are a bit squishy. Sometimes you just get popped, but CoreJJ is very good at getting into good angles, and you get the Shen on your back, then the engage is really dangerous.
It's also so effective at preventing Twisted Fate from doing what he wants to do, or my favorite version of all the possibilities with this composition, Dog Missile. As soon as you fire Naafiri into the back line, you've got Shen attached right to her as a rocket thruster, and you've got so much pressure on whoever they want to go after.
Now I hope that we get the hot dog Naafiri skin, so you can get your hot dog missile.
Hot dog missile, sounds good. Somebody give Kangas some hot dogs to throw to the crowd if it happens, because that would just be a sick way to celebrate being back in an arena here again.
And the other thing that Shen does that is very good for countering Twisted Fate, not just the global, but you can also block auto attacks. And so try and get the block down for gold cards for people. It does make it sometimes annoying for Twisted Fate if the Shen is next to someone and he's able to get the block zone up, block the gold card. Not too often, but sometimes, you know, if Twisted Fate would have been thinking about going to the top side to gold card, then it also is a stopper there. Because obviously you can easily time it for yourself.
So one thing that I do want to watch throughout this game, 2 summoner spellbooks on C9, both APA and Blaber running that keystone. A lot of possibility, a lot of room for creativity there. Good usage of that can change the course of a fight with an exhaust, with a heal. Lots of different choices. And C9, they have got to be mentally resilient here. Game numbers 1 and 2, it's not like they were particularly close. It was Team Liquid outplaying them, just getting so far ahead, especially there in that second game around that topside river fight that just C9 could never recover from. But in a best of 5, your ability to keep your minds on track, reset after a rough game, come back into this one knowing you're back at square 0, that's what you got to be able to do if you want to reverse sweep.
And we already saw, right, at the beginning, a couple of those melee minions going down, APA missing, so losing out a little bit already. It does also always hurt a little bit more with Twisted Fate if you miss some, because you get extra value from hitting CS out of your passive. So it makes people count them even more.
Yeah.
The chat goes wild with the -1s. We'll see, though, because Jose is bottom, and he is using the hot dog
Yeah,
skin.
that is a hot dog.
That is. It is a weird colored hot dog with the chroma, but
He's not seen. Jose jumps in, fires off the first darkened dagger. The hyper carry Yunara is first blooded 2 minutes and 6 seconds into the game. And Team Liquid is on the board with Josedeodo.
yeah. The hype around the carry, Josedeodo.
The hype around the carry is like that's not what you wanted the start of this lane to be.
2 long swords for Jose's recall, but Blaber will make him pay the nominal price of your blue buff.
I'd take that.
For that. I'll take that any day. Get the kill, early kill onto Zven. Zven held on to his summoner spells. He, resigned himself to death after CoreJJ had the good engage. We're focused on Naafiri getting the kill, but props again to CoreJJ with the engage from Neeko, using the flash on the bottom side, getting right there onto Zven. So, Zven after that was like, okay, fine, you got me. I am resigning myself to death, and Naafiri gets paid. So we'll see what Jose can do this game. That champion with money is extremely problematic.
Oh yeah, Fed Naafiri is a problem. The champion can just do so much damage all at once. You do have the tanky Sejuani on the enemy team. You do have the Lulu to try to protect whoever gets dove.
Blaber is being able to get the bottom side crab. I kind of like that, you know. He warded his own red and dropped it so that he could get the crab and make the fans happy for the Blaber's crabbers. Get the bottom side, and he can go back and get his red afterwards anyway. No big deal there. Make sure he does not get double crabbed.
With burst down here onto Vulcan as C9 will try to get this wave shoved up, crashed into the turret. Also a massive wave crashing into the top lane turret there as Thanatos has controlled that one against Morgan here early. I think there is a lot of pressure on Thanatos in this game because you're on a champion like Ambessa that you said can carry from the top lane, because he's been, I just think, so far and away throughout almost the entirety of Spring Split, by far the best top laner. And so now, being put on this champion at this do-or-die must-win moment, he's really got to step up.
Yeah, best top laner in the league. Morgan has picked a pretty good nullifying stopper champion for the top side. You know, Shen for the absorb, be kind of fine up there, and then you can, as we say, block gold cards with your dodge zone. It still can get really dicey if Sejuani goes up there, because you can block some autos, but Sejuani brings a lot of CC anyway with the ulti, so we'll see which area they decide to focus, since bottom side Zven already having a little trouble.
Ooh, CoreJJ walks up. He goes for the Tangle Barb. Nice juke from Zven, because if he gets caught there, Jose was right there waiting. That could have been another big problem. If nothing else, it should have at least been summoner spells. Yeah. But a nice juke from Zven keeps him safe for now.
Well, then they're just trying to keep their farm consistent here. Keep the gold income up. And we're approaching to the level 6 for Twisted Fate.
I'm curious how much attention C9 is going to put on attacking Morgan specifically, because that's one of the answers that you normally do into Shen. Shen can save anybody on his team except for Shen. So the only person that can't get the stand united is who you've got to hit. And Blaber is making a trip up towards this top lane right now. You can see the pings though, as TL does have the control ward and the tri-brush, so they're just trying to waste
I spy with
time.
my little eye.
Yeah,
it's a really good control ward spot, by the way. Really, really good, precise spot there to be able to get the little look around. And he's going to go complete the recall anyway. We're looking for the bottom crab, by the way. So Blaber's crabbers join powers now.
Vulcan walking into the tri-brush, finds CoreJJ waiting. Does he a good little chunk of damage there. Jose versus Blaber here for the crab. Blaber continuing to try to keep going here. Does have to back up over the wall there with the Arctic Assault because Team Liquid was bringing help faster. Jose smites the crab away after seeing Blaber's re-entry, so Blaber's just going to go back to his own jungle. Another thing that's important to remember is even though Jose got off to that good start with the first blood down there in the bottom lane, Blaber, as the Sejuani, your first purchase is so cheap with the Protoplasm Harness, and it's so powerful too. It could really be a big X factor in one of these early skirmishes, one of these early neutral objective team fights that we've seen in both the previous games. Yeah, Sejuani always still going to provide that value, no problem. We've actually seen Blaber get counter jungled really hard on Sejuani and still come back and have a very successful game. In fact, against Jose himself, Blaber was pushed out and still able to have a meaningful impact. So let's see. Their bottom lane, of course, and their mid lane were both getting pushed in, so you don't always get to be the sole determining factor of your crab power. And because of that, Jose wrapping around again. Twisted Fate, kind of, you can see him hovering too. Anytime they hover Twisted Fate, you get the mirror. Ooh, public execution though from Thanatos. Wants to go in after Morgan. Protects himself for now, but the damage from Thanatos is not quite enough. He commits the ulti, but Morgan gets away. Now Quid in danger. Gold card immediately into the Glacial Prison. C9 trying to strike hard here in the mid lane. One more gold card deals him a losing hand. Quid is down, and APA gets the kill.
Cloud9 attacking two lanes at once. One with the 1v1 on top side, and then the gank in mid lane. Wow, Jose is taking the dragon, so objective still picked up for Team Liquid, but Cloud9 getting on the board with a kill, and doesn't look like they
Ooh, APA wants to get away from it. Hound's Pursuit chases him underneath the turret, but immediately Call the Pack has to be used to back off after the Tangle Barb's miss from Core.
It's an old one, but a good one, Flowers.
I missed this one. This is a classic one right here.
I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Feels like home.
That's what I was about to say. It feels like coming home. as Team Liquid, they took the first Drake. It was a later first Drake than in the first couple of games. Previously, we would see it around when it spawned. This time around of 7.5 minutes, and now with the Void Grub spawning shortly thereafter, Jose is going to go ahead and pick those up as well. So early neutral control for Team Liquid.
All right, let's take a look. CoreJJ hit 6, so you really gotta keep tabs on him by pressing tab and tracking that Neeko.
It's good advice.
Neeko
sure you press tab.
Currently up in the top side 2v1, so it's pretty easy when they're at the tower, but are going to have to look out for those. Again, if you've got the Neeko Shen combination, can be deadly. Definitely helps if your Shen is already getting pummeled and pushed under tower. And Zven actually doing a good job there on the Yunara, pushing Morgan in, chunking him low. You want to keep up the pressure on the source of the global, what you're talking about previously, where
yes,
keep Shen low, keep the pressure on Shen so that even if he can like get away from you and get an ult off, he'll lose a lot for doing so.
Right, you'll have control, you'll have push, and even if he arrives, if he's chunked to half HP, that might not be the turnaround in the battle that Team Liquid would be hoping for. Cloud9 with a very modest gold lead right now, but again, that can be kind of deceptive in a game with Twisted Fate. Kind of what you were talking about earlier. Yeah, he gets the bonus dice gold whenever he kills stuff, but that's built into the kit. He's balanced around it. He's supposed to be ahead in terms of money. Steps forward here, closes a little bit of distance onto Quid, closes enough to grab at least the stun for the quick little bit of damage, but it's not like Quid's feeling a whole lot of pressure here. Blaber still hanging around. I want to see if Blaber can get another gank maybe onto this Viktor, onto this immobile mage that can be such a good target, because the further ahead you can get APA, the faster you can get him to that Twisted Fate 3-item power spike where you have your rapid fire cannon and you can really set up picks, the more well-equipped C9 will be to find the play that wins them their first game in this series.
And I like that you say Blaber should do it, because Sejuani is very good at playing very like non-committal engages. Against the Shen, a lot of times you kind of want to make an engage but not fully commit to it. And Sejuani is very good at doing yeah, exactly. So you get the Shen ult burned and, you know, maybe back off if necessary or fully burst them down if you actually have the angle. But Sejuani is very good at having options, has the mobility, has the long range in addition to the CC. So can kind of pick and choose your battles and make your choices wisely. APA currently is sitting on the Ghost and Teleport with his Summoner Spellbook, and Blaber is currently topside as well. Teleport invested to go back to mid lane though, and Twisted Fate ult still being held on to.
All right, C9 bottom lane, 63 stacks, or 53 stacks, sorry, can't read, on the cull left for Zven before he'll be able to cash in on that one, catch up a little bit on this small gold deficit down here that Yeon has earned for himself on the Ezreal. 1.5 minutes until the next Drake spawns in this one. First was Mountain, second was Ocean. The two big defensive Drakes will be out of the opportunity there for what soul arises. Lots of vision control down here in the bottom river right now for the TL side. You can see 3 different control wards placed down around the Dragon Pit itself. Mid side brush, banana brush. Yeon trying to get back now though, has to use the Arcane Shift over the wall to make sure that Zven can't follow up with the damage after Vulcan got him slowed.
All right, continue to farm here, trying to snipe a little bit. Getting the recall from Yeon. See if he has his completion. Oh, just picking up some more resources, some more pots here to continue the kind of slow mid game. I mean, Shen always does this where having the block. Oh yeah, there you go. He gets the full Trinity Force. Shen always kind of does that where he kind of slows it down a little, because even when you have Sejuani ult ready and Twisted Fate on your team, can definitely be a bit of a stopper to a lot of those plays you'll look for. And since everybody's holding on to their flashes still, it's not like there's a really good opening to punish. So see here with limited vision and information as well. Blaber coming right back out to open on the bottom side of the map, where Jose already currently resides.
Yep, Jose going to clear out some of that vision. CoreJJ next to him. Team Liquid again trying to control the neutral objectives. Remember, they've already got the first couple of them so far in this game. Teleport brings Quid right back into the mix as Blaber and APA are forced back a bit. Josedeodo still just hanging around in the banana brush here. Just wants a little bit more damage onto Blaber as he tries to make his way back over here. Drake not started yet by either side. Bottom side river control still for Team Liquid. Morgan's going to take a recall. Yeah, he has his teleport if he needs to go back to top lane. He has his ulti if he needs to join the fight. And he just purchased Titanic Hydra, which is a big power spike there for him. So Team Liquid just going to take this take this dragon, make sure that they are continuing to stack those neutrals. Thanatos will cash in on some plates top side in the meantime.
Yeah, money, money, money here for Thanatos. See what they can get. Blaber also wants to take another blue away during that time. So it is going to be the 2 dragons and the 2 blue buff steals for C9.
You were really correct about the thing about Shen slowing the game down. This is by far our lowest action game
here we
so
go
far,
there.
but now Thanatos has APA and Blaber coming up to help him. They attack the Shen. They go for the dive. Thanatos, not quite enough damage, and Morgan in the 1v3 gets out alive.
Did that Sejuani ult hit you, Flowers? 'Cause that was a little wide.
Morgan stays alive.
Okay, so he was predicting a flash, I believe.
Well, I'm sure we'll have a replay.
Maybe we'll slow it down a little
in a moment, but
usually
right now,
when that happens, it's a flash prediction.
hold on, Team Liquid's coming in. They want to try to get a punish on APA, who has hung around up here in the top lane. The gravity field thrown down, but the heal and the ghost from APA get him away from that before Quid is able to trap him nearby. Now, Josedeodo is still waiting here in the brush. Team Liquid's going to get this wave shoved up. And they're just going to go for the dive here onto APA. Pop Blossom forces the flash out of the Twisted Fate. And Team Liquid shows them how to get the 3v1 done. They make the dive happen. They get the extra kill. Vulcan forced to use Wild Growth defensively after the ulti reset there for the Neeko. Now Yeon protected by the Stand United. Morgan shows up to make sure that Zven has to fully retreat.
Okay, he does retreat though, and he's going to live for now. Wave does get pushed in, but they should be able to recover from that. Nice little punch from Team Liquid on the top side after the attempted play from Cloud9. And yeah, it was a prediction ult from Blaber trying to predict the flash. And so that's what just makes even more important Morgan's sidestep. Morgan's able to sidestep both of them. He sidestepped both Thanatos and Blaber, and then still have his flash to be able to get out afterwards. So it's actually so sick. So here's again, look at this sidestep that he's going to do. So first he's going to block the gold card with the dodge, and then this sidestep there dodges out the Sejuani ult, who was predicting, and then he's able to still have his flash dash to get out of range. Really nice from him.
The happiness of the TL fans as Lord Morgan gets his Survive the Dive award, as we do have a game once again on a knife's edge here in terms of gold. But it's the Team Liquid neutral objective control that remains at 100%. They got the Rift Herald as well. We'll see where Jose wants to drop that one. Down here in bottom lane, TL's getting the wave shoved up. CoreJJ and Josedeodo have control over the jungle off to the side, which means Thanatos cannot afford to hang around here and try to defend this. At least C9 on the other side of the map will also use this opportunity for APA to push the tier 1 and get that one in trade.
Okay, Team Liquid getting bottom 1, as you say. Trade of towers does go through, and this game much closer than previous Flowers, so the hope alive for Cloud9 in the series. They have a lot of work to do to claw their way back, but it starts with one game at a time.
Yep.
Herald being used by TL though, and this tower's already low, so they're gonna, if they can just finish this off, grab all of the outer towers and really open up the map for themselves, start to take over some of the jungle vision. Solid setup for TL, gonna get another charge as well.
Yeah, that's even more plate money going their way. Now Blaber trying to defend himself in the jungle, make sure he controls his wolves still, but Jose and Core roaming around as this jungle support duo trying to choke their opponents out of their own side of the map. As Thanatos maybe the target? No, they don't want to full send on the Ambessa like that, not with the rest of C9 around and ready to reinforce. The next dragon spawning in under 60 seconds now. As C9 want to move forward, should be able to secure this Scuttle Crab. As Yeon takes his retreat in the mid lane, low on mana here on the Ezreal. Not sure how much gold he has, but the tier is fully stacked. Whenever he buys the Mana Mune, it will evolve into the Muramana instantly, and that will be a massive power spike. Doesn't have the money for it just yet.
Certainly will. See if they are able to utilize that on the timer when it comes, but 30 seconds ahead of time right now. Dragon is going to arrive a little bit early, so push that timer up. Man, Jose on 2 items. Yeah, you were talking about how cheap like the Sejuani items are, so Sejuani can match, but I feel like this Naafiri shreds with the cleaver, Voltaic as well. Stack up your Conqueror, see if they can move in. Okay, they've already got early priority on the lane brush here. CoreJJ sitting and waiting with the Neeko. threatening the Neeko plus Shen combo.
Okay, there's your Twisted Fate ulti. Morgan also going to arrive now into the bottom lane of the tier 1. To answer the wave being shoved up now. The rest of Team Liquid's got to be careful though. Josedeodo chunked down to 1/3 HP. C9 grouped up as 5. Control over the river belongs to them. They still have the Scuttle Crab for the next little bit. Josedeodo on the backs of the pit, still thinking about trying to steal this one away. Quid gets tagged there by the Arc of Ruin. Public execution, diving into the back line. Defensive pop loss of trying to keep the mid laner safe. Blaber taking a ton of damage, but the Protoplasm Harness keeps him alive. Both sides firing back and forth as Josedeodo jumps in. Morgan makes space. Jose steals the Drake. Nobody dead yet, but C9's on the run. Team Liquid managed to secure the objective and move to Soul Point.
Whew, how chaotic it was too. On the re-engage, they go for it. Jose gets back in. They do smite, and that's a very early 3 dragons for Team Liquid, setting up the super early soul in this game. Here's a look at the engage though. So they start out, get a little chunk there. Zven goes for a poke on Quid, and they get the gold card stun into Ambessa, but the Shen shield does keep Quid safe, and he's able to use Proto Belt to gain some space afterwards too. But look at Morgan. He called it out. Not only did he stop the engage, he doesn't quite get the top flash on his Zven. I think that actually would have been able to kill Zven for sure right there if he just had the tiny bit of extra range. But even still, not getting the range on the top flash onto Zven, they still are able to get the objective and push Cloud9 away.
Exactly. Now there's that pressure on C9. 4 minutes from now, you must win the next Drake. Otherwise, you're staring at an Infernal Soul Team Liquid. As Blaber does have the Summoner Spellbook Exhaust, APA forced to flash away. If he got caught by the Tangle Barbs there, he knew he was doomed. Josedeodo with that Hound's Pursuit would have been able to jump in right on top of him. Team Liquid again moving into the enemy jungle, trying to find the opportunity for picks, trying to catch Cloud9, lazily moving through unwarded areas, not establishing enough vision, but C9 stays safe enough for now. Twisted Fate losing that flash is even more painful when you still don't have rapid fire cannon, because you kind of need it sometimes to set up those gold cards. You can see he's got the slingshot in his inventory now, so he is working towards it now with the Lich Bane already completed alongside the Rod of Ages. So once they get there, again, I think that's when C9's going to have more of an opportunity to make some picks, try to make some plays. But that clock I mentioned, that was 4 minutes, it's 3 minutes now, and it's not going to slow down. It's not how time works.
It certainly isn't, especially if you're on Cloud9's side. You know, so much pressure right now. Backs against the walls. Elimination point here. MSI on the line.
Their first international in potentially 3 years. It has been so long. Remember, we talked about it back in Game 1. This team has gone to more internationals than any other North American team. 13 international appearances historically for C9. The second place is Team Liquid, tied with TSM at 10. So if C9 wins this game and the next 2, then they'll move up to 14, that much further in the lead. But if Team Liquid wins this game, that means that they then move past TSM, they break the tie, and they earn themselves that spot at MSI alongside Lion. They earn the opportunity to play Lion tomorrow in the grand finals for the title here in the Mullet Arena for the spring finals. As C9 just continuing to buy time, farm up, knowing that the Dragon Soul fight in 2 minutes is inevitable.
Let that sink in, the weight of it. Jose, though, looking for a pick on the APA, and it's going to go.
Jumps in right after him, immediately gets gold carded. Wants to try to continue following, but no, APA gets away.
So they have, like you're saying, the timer here is a good time to like try and, you know, get some summoner spells. So Twisted Fate had the flash blown earlier, and so they're looking for it, see if they can get something else. The ultimates will come back in time for the dragon anyway, so might as well fish. Doesn't quite actually get the kill, get the money, but worth a shot.
He'll have the cooldown back in time for the dragon fight, so it's like, whatever, right? As long as you still have it when you need it. Level 15 for Morgan, not particularly close to level 16, so not the final level of the Stand United, probably when this fight happens. Bottom lane, you do have that Muramana now completed for Yeon. Zven has the Fiend Hunter bolts. This is the item that works so good with champions, with AD carries who are ultimate reliant. This is your chance. If you pop that Transcendence at the right time, you can pretty much insta-give somebody. But Zven is going to have to do that DPS that the hyper carry is drafted for if they want to win this next team fight.
Okay, Twisted Fate comes down as well, joining for the Dragon. So Team Liquid, they're going to keep Shen split pushing up on the top side, ready with the ultimate, while the rest of the team hovering in river, buying some time. And we're still 30 seconds ahead of their rival of the Dragon, but they want the vision first.
The TP is already coming in there from Morgan. He arrives with the big shield. No rapid fire cannon still for APA. As Team Liquid takes control over the Dragon Pit area, but critically it is C9 with that Scuttle Crab they already secured, giving them that unmovable vision over the small circle. Blaber, the HP bar slowly being chipped away, down to about 100 here as he continues taking damage from the Darken Dagger bleed. Yeon fires the Mystic Shot over the wall, hits a target, knows somebody is there. TL gonna send Morgan over. The shield has worn away now from the Empowered Teleport. Thanatos gonna be spotted, forced to move away. Nice stun coming out from APA. They find a target. Core is taken low, but the Stand United keeps him alive. C9 nearly finding a pick. They get it down to 5%, but it's not enough. Now, let's see if we can get anything else out of this Twisted Fate ultimate. C9 continuing to try to fight forward. They don't want to let TL away with this, not with their support at 5%. TL continuing to try to push C9 back. Thanatos and APA trapped in the pit now. Here on the front line, Morgan gets a taunt. Thanatos with a flash away, he's staying alive. Thanatos gets out, still trying to escape, but Quid gets the kill. Team Liquid has found one. They've taken the Infernal Soul. Quid continuing the chase as Zven has to kite away. And yet again, it's Team Liquid with the team fight.
Cloud9, I mean, they forced CoreJJ all the way back to base, and yet still Team Liquid stick around. They take the fight 4v5, while Cloud9 are trying to damage the Dragon, and Flowers, they take the soul. Huge bonus here for Team Liquid. Again, you see there, CoreJJ has to go back to base. His health bar had been depleted even though he lived. And so Morgan and Jose, they just walk right up. Morgan doing so much here, gains a lot of space. They focus in onto Thanatos. Jose hits him with the ultimate. They push them out. Meanwhile, Quid had been zoning out the bottom lane and is still there to close the door, finish off the kill onto Thanatos. The Viktor, just this powerhouse of a wall on the outside. And TL win the fight 4v5, take the Dragon Soul as their reward.
In a game that the gold has been about 1,000 apart the entire time, the value of a Dragon Soul is so massive for tipping the scales in the favor of Team Liquid. But now we've got 26 minutes on the clock. No Elder Dragon to spawn for another 5 minutes from now. Baron is the big thing that should be on everyone's minds, and Team Liquid are starting to establish ward lines.
All right, Cloud9. Hope is dwindling for them. Games 1 and 2 handled by Team Liquid so steadily. And game number 3 already with the Dragon Soul on top of the gold lead, very confidently setting up the vision control around Baron. And just keep your Shen on bottom side. He's gonna have his Stand United soon. He's gonna have his teleport soon as well. So they're gonna have all the options in the world for Team Liquid. Blaber has been hovering on the side lane here. But honestly, Morgan's been playing it pretty well. Doesn't really overextend when unnecessary. Doesn't really open himself up as a possible counterplay. And since Blaber's on the bottom side of the map, Team Liquid, they're actually going for this just to start it out with Jose himself. Look at that Naafiri versus Baron, just Naafiri and his own pet.
It's Naafiri and the puppies versus the big purple worm. The ward thrown into the brush there by Morgan. Spots Blaber and Thanatos. Since the jungler and the top laner's down here. But remember, Blaber has the unsealed spellbook. He's going to make a teleport into his own jungle to try to move in and maybe steal this away. It's too little. It's too late. It's Baron for Team Liquid.
Well, Flowers, you get that feeling. TL are collecting everything on the map in game number 3 here. They are looking to sweep Cloud9 out of Arizona, out of playoffs.
Out of MSI, out of everything until Summer Split starts. Twisted Fate ulti gonna be popped again just to see what TL is up to. And now they will continue pushing forward with their Baron here for the next 2.5 minutes. It's gonna give them control over the Rift all the way up until the Elder Dragon spawns. Josedeodo targeted here, but immediately called the pack to dodge away from that public execution. A lot of damage from Quid, finds its way onto Blaber as Josedeodo jumps in with the bomb monster from CoreJJ to guarantee 2 kills. Team Liquid, they played it slow, they played it confident, and now that they've got a tank full of gas, it's pedal to the metal. 5v3 for the next 20 seconds as they force their way into the base.
They're gonna do it, Flowers. Team Liquid moving in to finish it.
C9 trying to defend here, a stun onto Quid, they take him low, but they can't take him down. The shield from the power siphon enough to keep him going. First Nexus turret already removed. C9 trying to stop it. Finally get the respawn there with the Vulcan. APA staying alive for now. Blaber here on the front line has to Arctic Assault back the other way. C9 still defending, but the Nexus turrets are gone. A nice stun comes out from the Glacial Prison. Still nobody dead on the Team Liquid side. Quid trying to fire back a little bit further, but Morgan assassinates Zven. The Nexus is down. Team Liquid is going to MSI. Team Liquid is going to the finals, and they will sweep Cloud9 out of Arizona.